Hello everybody, happy Wednesday. Welcome to my new office area. The lighting is not that great because it is like cloudy out today. If you guys are jumping on live, say hi, drop a 1 in the comments below. If you're watching the replay, drop a 2 in the comments below. I just like to come back and say thank you for watching because I do appreciate when you guys jump on live. I'm excited to share with you guys today. This is something that I've been talking about in my Fit Club and in my 6-week mentorship, and I'm working closely with my clients on getting through and like actually, number one, taking action, because I know a lot of people get paralyzed. Hey, Marianne. Hey, Samantha. Is that who? Sorry, I didn't see. I saw that S. Hey, Samantha. Number one, taking action, because I know a lot of people get paralyzed. Number 2, getting results. And number 3, maintaining results. Like, I feel like a lot of people, what they have issues is moving forward, or like they get paralyzed. Like, okay, I want to do this, I want to achieve this thing, but like I don't know how or what to do. I feel stuck. I can't take the first steps. Like, if you've been there, if you've been in that situation, drop a 2 in the comments below. Where you start coming, or a three. Sorry, not a 2. We already did a 2. A 3 in the comments below. Like, you start coming up with all of these things, and you're like, okay, well, she can do it, but I can't do it, and I don't have enough time, and I don't know what to cook, and I don't know all these things, and like you come up with all of these more or less excuses. And then we have the people that can get results. Like, yeah, I can follow a plan for 30 days. I can follow a plan for 60 days, 90 days, whatever. But after that, like, I can't maintain my results. I don't know how to maintain. I don't know how to do that. I don't know, like, I can follow it for a little while, but then like it's gone. Drop a 4 in the comments below if you are the person that can follow a plan for a little while and then you take 80 billion steps backwards, because that was me for the longest time. But this thing that I'm going to talk to you guys about is how we start working through this, working through these things and getting to a point where we, number 1, can take action, and number 2, we can sustain the results. So first and foremost, with all of this, it's not about the right workout program. It's not about the perfect supplement. It's not about the perfect nutrition plan, whatever. Like, we can follow those. We can use those. We can do quick fixes. We could take drugs. We can do wraps. We can find magical pills. We can do all that stuff and we can see results. It's not about that. That doesn't get us to where we want to be. That doesn't get us to maintaining a lifestyle that we want to maintain, right? It's literally because we can take the action, but we never work on what's up here. And I know I've been talking about that a lot, but it's our limiting beliefs that are holding us back from actually taking action, first and foremost, or it's our limiting belief that we can't maintain the results that we get. And so, where do these limiting beliefs come from? Well, first and foremost, they come from how we were brought up as kids, like the things that happened to us when we were kids, and then they come from the things that we have done to ourselves. Maybe we have used a lot of quick fixes. Maybe we have used drugs to get to where we want to be, or whatever. I mean, that's my story. I used Adderall to get to the results that I wanted. And so for me, a huge limiting belief that I had was that I needed drugs in order to see results and in order to maintain them. Like, I believed that I couldn't get them without that. So what did I have to do? The first thing that I had to do is I had to stop focusing on that thing. Like, I had to stop focusing on the drug. If maybe you're like, you keep putting on your clothes and you're like, I'm so fat, I don't fit in these clothes. I don't fit in these clothes. Like, you have to stop focusing on what you do not want. And you have to start focusing on where you want to go. And you have to start thinking in a positive light. You have to start talking to yourself in a positive light. Because the more you focus on those things, the more you're going to get those negative things in your life. So start focusing on the positive. Start calling yourself out when you're talking that way. Like, that's bullshit, You don't need those things. You don't need to sit there and beat yourself up. You can take the action to see different results. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to start working on those limiting beliefs. Now, I know what you're going to say is, oh, well, I don't know what those limiting beliefs are. And trust me, like, I get that because I've been there too. Like, I don't really understand what my limiting belief is. Like, how am I supposed to work through a limiting belief if I don't even know what the limiting belief is? Well, first and foremost, we have to start those excuses that you guys were talking about earlier that you posted below. Those are your limiting beliefs. So we have to start working through the surface level limiting beliefs first. And personally, the easiest way that I've done this is through a journal. I think journaling is like the best thing that anybody can do. First and foremost, like, I feel like getting your mind right and your mindset right before you even start on a health and fitness journey or anything. Like, you could take all of this and apply this to any level, anything in your life. If you run an online business, if you want to achieve something with your relationship or whatever it is, the only thing that is literally holding us back is ourselves and our limiting beliefs. And as soon as we can work through those limiting beliefs, then we will start to take action. It's like, as soon as our subconscious, as soon as we rewrite that story in our subconscious, we start to take action as the person we want to be, because we no longer believe what we had said. Like, it took me a year and a half to break through the limiting belief that I didn't need a drug in order for me to see results. And I had to prove myself wrong. I had to do a lot of journaling. I had to do a lot of writing letters and burning them and saying that this is bullshit. Like, I don't believe this anymore. I believe something new. And then with that, I had to take the action. But here's what happens is, it's not just about the first time. Okay, you never get to a point where you're like, I have no more limiting beliefs. I truly don't believe that there is that point. Maybe some people do, but every time that you work through a limiting belief and you have one of those aha moments, and you find a new limiting belief that you need to work through, you move forward. So sometimes it's like this. You might take a lot of steps forward and then you take some steps back, but then you take a bigger leap forward because you're actually doing the work. Now, I'm not talking about yo-yoing, like, because I've been there. I've been through the yo-yo game for so long. When I did keto, that's what it was. It was all yo-yo. And that was because I wasn't working on my mental. I wasn't working on the limiting beliefs that I needed to work through. And so once I finally was like, okay, I worked through this belief that I don't need a drug in order to see results. Now it's time to prove to myself that I can do that. And so I committed 100%. So you have to work on the limiting beliefs. You have to break through them, and you have to take the action at the same time. You can't just be like, you can't think yourself to results, right? You have to do both. You have to have both of them. So working through the limiting beliefs. So then what did I do after that? I committed to a 93-day program where I went 100% all in. Then what happened? I by no means ever regret doing that. That was the best decision I could ever make for myself. And it propelled me into the biggest transformation of my life last year. Not just my body, but my mindset also. But what happened was I got done with that and I was kind of like, okay, now what do I do? And I know a lot of people go through this, especially if you do like competing or something. And so what happened was I fell back a little bit, and then I started to get back into my old ways, and I started to call myself out, and I started to feel like the only way that I could maintain the results is if I went 100% all in. And I had to call bullshit on myself. That's total bullshit. You know, other people that don't stay 100% all in all the time and they still maintain their results and they still feel good and they still look good. So then I had to start working through that. And so I started working through that, and I felt like I had really moved mountains last year, which I did, in those limiting beliefs and things, but there was still something that was holding me back, and I couldn't quite figure out what it was. But I knew what I had to do is I had to keep journaling. I had to keep working on the limiting beliefs that were coming up, and I had to keep continuing to take action. So were there times that I got frustrated? Yes, absolutely. But I knew that if I gave up, that I would never, ever even get to a point where I felt free, where I felt like I could live my life and maintain what I wanted to. So I kept working towards that, and I kept thinking, and new things would come up. And I saw somebody have a chat, say something like, can you maintain your results for an entire year? And I was like, yes, that's what I want to do. That's what I'm going to commit to. I'm going to commit to maintaining my best shape. It's different for everybody, like whatever that is for you. I know what it is for me, but maintaining my best shape for an entire year. I've never done that before. So I'm going to commit to doing that. But I'm also going to commit to doing that and still living my life and still having balance. And so, but something still kept coming up. And this past like week or so, I'm like, okay, like something is like, what is that block? And I couldn't figure out. And it was like so frustrating, right? But I knew I just had to keep working. I had to keep taking action. So what also helped me, and this will help you too, if you're not seeing the light, you're not seeing the block, and you're like, okay, I can't even get to the block that I want to break through. Like, what do I do now? You keep showing up, you keep taking the action. And then what you'll find is you're going to have confidence because you were taking action. Action breeds confidence. And once you see that you have actually made some momentum, because action and confidence will equal momentum, you are going to be able to keep going and then break that block. So yesterday I stepped on the scale for the first time in like a week and a half, and I had only gained 3 pounds over the 2 weeks of the holidays, which is crazy because we have just been, I made that post. So I talked about like, I literally was like living my best life, and I was afraid to step on the scale, and I was afraid to take pictures. Now I'm a person that uses the scale as a tool, and I have a really good relationship with the scale. I worked on it all last year, and I use it as a tool, and I know when I shouldn't step on it. And so I was finally like, okay, Ashley, you need to step on it, see where it's at. Okay, I've only gained 3 pounds. That's pretty crazy. Like, I thought it would be much worse. Now you got to take your pictures, because that's another tool I use, and you need to compare them. And I did not want to compare them to the beginning of last year, or, last year to the end of last year. And I did it anyways. And there was change there. Like, I literally was 10 pounds difference, and that has never happened. Like, I've always been, every year I go through the same cycles, and I don't know how to break them, but it's because I never worked through up here, never worked through the limiting beliefs. And so through working through those limiting beliefs, I was able to actually see change that through a year. So yes, it wasn't huge. It was only 10 pounds. I see the difference. I feel the difference because I've proved to myself that I can get through these things and I can work through these things. So I know that whatever that block is that's stopping me from what I want to achieve to maintain for an entire year will come. And so, it's like you take your baby steps with focusing on the surface level stuff, and then you get deeper and deeper the more you take the action. And so I'm still processing. I'm still trying to figure out like, what is that thing? So this morning I made a post on social media talking about self-love and body image, and that would be a whole nother conversation. You can go look at the post if you want. And I wrote the post, and then I went and did my workout, and it was in the middle of my workout that I was like, holy shit. The block was right there. Like, I wrote it out. It was like the universe told me to sit down and write this post because it was going to give me what my block was. And in the post, if you go back and read it, I talked about how, it's not easy to love yourself. I feel like a lot of self-love people are just like, oh, just love yourself and everything will be good. Well, it takes work. Like, you have to put the work in. You can't just be like, oh yes, I love myself and that's it. Like, there is a lot of, no matter what size shape you are, you can love yourself at any size or shape. I truly believe that. I believe that some people use self-love as an excuse. That's just my opinion. But at the same time, it's not just as easy as a lot of people say that it is. And so I wrote that post. And then at the end of the post, I was talking about how I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm not looking for you to compare yourself to me. I'm not doing any of that because I've been lean as fuck and I hated myself. And as soon as I realized, like, as soon as I went to do my workout, I was like, that's the block right there. That is the block that I have to work through. I have to rewrite that story. Something deep down inside of me believes that if I get to my goal body, that I won't maintain it because I will hate myself. And so that now comes the real work. Now I have to really work through that. And that's the other thing is you don't get to figure out what the block is and then just be like, poof, it's gone. No, you have to work through that. You have to prove yourself wrong. You have to rewrite that story. And it might take a lot of time to rewrite that, but you can do it. You can get there and you can work through it. I'm going to prove to you guys this year that I'm going to work through that and that I'm going to maintain. And is there shit that's going to come up along the way? Abso-freaking-lutely there's going to be shit that's going to come up along the way. And there's going to be new blocks that I'm going to have to work through. And there's going to be blocks that I don't understand that I have. But I know that if I've made it this far and I worked through the surface area and I got deeper and I got deeper and I got deeper, that it becomes easier to work through those blocks. The other thing is once you start having these realizations in the certain areas of your life, like if you're going to take this and use this with health and fitness, you're going to start having shit show up, like blocks show up in other areas of your life, and you're gonna be like, holy cow, I like didn't even realize that. And now you can work through that. It's like you're gonna start having breakthrough through breakthrough through breakthrough. Like it's gonna like come up, and it'll be like this morning I was on a super high because I had all of these breakthroughs during my workout and things that I had to work through. And then I came down from my high, and I wanted to do this video after my workout, but I got distracted. I had a call and stuff. And I got distracted, and so then I was like, okay, let's do this call or this video. And I would put the video on, and I would go to press play, and I'm like my energy's gone. Like I feel drained. That's because it does take a lot of work to work through these things. And sometimes you have to take a step back and take a deep breath and remove yourself from the situation and just kind of like be for a little bit. And so I had to kind of recompose myself to get on here and share this with you guys. But I really wanted to, because I think it's an important message. And I think that it's something that's missing. Like, yeah, I can give you guys whatever program. I can give you the drugs. Well, I can't give you the drugs because I don't have the drugs. But I can give you the quick fixes. I can give you all of those things. But until we work here and until we work through those blocks and those limiting beliefs, like you'll either never take the action, or you'll take the action and then you will fall 40, 50 steps backwards. And then you will beat yourself up and you won't pick yourself back up and move on. So I hope this helps you guys. I hope you appreciate this. If you are somebody that's looking to want to work deeper into this, I still have spots open in my 6-week mentorship. We start, we're doing prep week right now, and then we start on Monday. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for jumping on live or watching the replay, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.